a very warm welcome to this special edition of Middle East Matters. I'm Sanam Shantier. This week, we're bringing you all things kebab, a dish that dates back to some 790,000 years. Now, when it comes to the region, there's a mouth-watering array on offer. And I imagine most of you are familiar with the doner kebab. But there's also the shish kebab, the shawarma, the iskandar, one of my personal favorites, the cello kebab, and the list goes on. Now, the dish itself was invented in Turkey, and it slowly started trickling its way into Middle Eastern cuisine. What better way to kick off than this little hole in the wall? Urfa Durum is a Kurdish spot tucked away in the 10th arrondissement of Paris. And showing us how it's done, Pierre Auguste. Pierre, tell us about the history of the kebab.
The history of the kebab goes back a long way. In medieval times, soldiers of the Ottoman Empire killed animals, skewered them on their swords, and grilled them on an open fire. Then they ate the meat. That's how it all started. Over time, the cooking style evolved and people began to serve the kebab in restaurants and sandwich bars. There you have it, the history of the kebab.
Pierre, can you tell us how you make this, your take on the kebab, which of course is called the durum?
Just like this. And I use a little trick to speed things up. Here, let me show you, but don't tell anyone. I do this to get the fire going. Okay then, let's make a sandwich. We put a bit of lettuce.
Wait.
Onions. And rocket lettuce. Then we add some parsley.
This looks so fresh.
Yes, we need fresh vegetables, otherwise we can't eat it. Let's add some tomatoes too. See? You do it like this.
Massive.
And like this.
Thank you. I'm going to have to eat this, guys. Now, Pierre, no kebab is complete, certainly for me, without this drink. It has different names. In Iran, we call it dur, you call it dao. In Turkey, it's ayran. What's in it?
It's yogurt. For us, it's like wine. It goes very well with the kebab.
So let's have a try. That's delicious. Pierre, thank you very much for having us. Now we're on Rue des Entrepreneurs, which has been home to Paris's Iranian community for decades. In fact, it's been dubbed Téhéran-sur-Seine, and there are plenty of restaurants here. Let's go into Mazet, which has become a bit of a haunt for French and Persian celebrities here in the capital. We're here with Sam Tavassoli, the son of the infamous owner Ali Tavassoli. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you to be here.
Can you explain to us how the kebab made its way to Iran?
The main moment that it became really the national dish was during the 19th century, where it was the Qajar dynasty. The Nasser Eddin Shah was a big fan of cello kebab. So at this moment, all the restaurants started to serve this dish, and it became the national Iranian dish.
Now, for us, it's a national dish, but it's also a massive part of our culture. It's a big deal for us.
Exactly. Actually, not only in Iran, for all the Iranians all around the world, on the Friday or Sunday, it depends where you are, you go on your grandfather home, he make the kubide, the juje. If you cannot, you go buy it on the restaurant and you come, but it's the kebab time. We put the kebab in the middle of the table and everybody go and eat everything he wants, and usually huge quantities.
Now we're here and I cannot ignore what we've got in front of us. Can you tell us exactly how the Iranian kebab is served and exactly what all these condiments are?
Exactly. So we have here the main meat kebabs, which is the kebab barg. Barg means like a leaf, that's because it's cut like a leaf. You can make it with lamb or with beef. And the kebab kubide, which is the ground lamb, which we have it in all the Orient
And that
places.
is the general favorite.
Yeah, exactly, for everybody. And we have also the juje kebab, which today, because kubide is a little bit difficult to make, in Iran, a lot of people eat juje kebab because it's easier. We just make the chicken in lemon and saffron and we grill it. And then we have the cello kebab, which you can serve it in the restaurant with the saffron rice, grilled tomato. So the kebabs, usually a little piece of butter. And what you can do, in some restaurant, they give you the yellow egg. You put on the middle of the rice, and you can have a very nice and creamy rice with your kebab. So we have the somar, which is a spice that we usually eat with the kebabs. You always take a little bit, you put it, and it's a little sour taste. We love the sour taste in Iran, and this little spice has this taste. We put it in the kebabs, and then you mix it with all these side orders, which are the pickled cucumber and some onions. You have some pickle. This one is eggplant and carrot pickles, made with vinegar, and the masta musir. It can be also masta khiyar. Masta musir is the yogurt with garlic, and we can make it with cucumber too. It's in all the tables we have musts and these things, which is the herbs.
I'm going to try a little bit of this now, if you don't mind.
For sure.
Barg is my favorite, which is the lamb leaf kebab. This looks amazing. It's so well cooked. Let's try a little bit.
You like it, huh?
Wonderful. Thank you very much for
You're
hosting
welcome.
us.
Thank you very much. It was a nice pleasure.
Last but not least, we're in the kitchen of a Lebanese chef, Karim Haidar. Karim, thank you very much for having us in Askini. Now, we've spent the day sampling kebabs from different countries. What does it mean to serve up a kebab on a plate in the Middle East?
In fact, it has different meanings. You have the Turkish kebab, which is the doner kebab on a vertical skewers, which is served in sandwiches or in a plate. You have the Iraqi kebab, which is very well known as crushed meat with basil and beautiful taste. You have the Indian kebab, bowls of meat and yogurt. All those kebabs we heard of, and of course the Iranian kebab, which is on skewers too, and which is really beautiful to eat.
And what's Lebanon's answer to the kebab? Because when we think about it, we're automatically thinking about the shawarma, but that's not it, is it?
In fact, the shawarma looks like a doner kebab, so the Turkish doner kebab, but it's made with pieces of meat, not crushed meat, nor even minced meat. So in a way, it's very different. It's only the way of cooking which is similar than the kebab. The same thing with our kafta, which is cooked on skewers, like the one of Iranians or Iraqi. But again, it's not really kebab. It's totally different. It's called kafta. It's minced meat. The thing is, today people call it kebab. So even us, we began calling it kebab, the shawarma one and the kafta one.
I've got a difficult question for you, and this is pretty hard for me to answer as well. If we had a battle of the kebabs, who would be the winner?
Very difficult to answer. In fact, everyone is so different. Personally, I prefer the Iranian one, but this is me.
As a chef, you have a slightly different take on the food that you make. You put a more of a modern spin on it. Now, if you had to make your own version, or if you've previously done it, what would be on the menu today?
In fact, I did many versions of kafta, kind of kebab, shawarma. And on the shawarma one, I did in London one with duck and pear, which was quite interesting. Otherwise, in the kafta one, I do a different one too. I like the meat of duck for that because, you know, it looks a little bit like the meat and the flesh of lamb that we usually use. It's fatty in a way, and it has pieces of meat with no fat at all.
Okay, let's get cooking.
Yalla.
That's it for this special, delicious edition of Middle East Matters. Thank you for watching. Now we're all going to tuck into this duck shawarma. Come on in. Oh my God, it's so good. Oh, it's really good.